But overall, it's been a great experience, even for myself. And what I look for from the camp every year, well, you could say is my own personal goal, is to improve the experience you guys have every year. And not just in terms of facilities or arrangements or the camp theme or everything, but it also includes what are you taking away from the camp. And that is education, that could be even the food, even activities and all that kind of stuff. So this year, like all the years, I've always had a great team around me, and you guys know it's not a one-man show. It's not just a boss doing all this stuff. It's not just someone else doing all this stuff, but it's everyone. It's a collective effort of a family, of a team. But I'd call it a family because we're a family. You guys agree with that? Yeah. So we're a family. It's a collective effort of family to better ourselves as people, as satsangis, as individuals, as a member of society, as a member of this world. And I wholeheartedly believe that if it wasn't for the team around me, because it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. Like the boss said, that we would get on calls, every week, every other week, different times. It's like early morning for me, really late at night for these guys, and just crazy timings. And we'll make sure that everything's on point when it comes to education. They'll send me their notes when it comes to education. I'll review them. I'll send my feedback. They'll improve on it. So it's a two-way thing. And if it wasn't for my team, and if it wasn't for, of course, you guys, because you came out here, you supported the camp, you became a part of this family. But if it wasn't for my team, I wouldn't say this camp would have been the success it is today. So first of all, because I know a huge amount of people are going to leave tomorrow, so I'd like to thank everyone today for all their efforts they've put. And I have a whole list here. First of all, from my team, of course, I'd like to thank Kishan. I'd like to thank AJ from Boston, Arjun from Boston, the boss himself, of course, everyone from the girls' side as well, whoever helped, everybody who helped apart from these guys, all the leaders, of course, from guys and girls. You guys have led your own groups, and you guys did a fantastic job with that. So, huge round of applause for yourselves. Thank you so much. I really mean it, and I really appreciate all the efforts you put in, because I know how crazy it could get handling your schoolwork and at the same time prepping for NNDYM education, doing your jobs on the side, and doing other social activities, sports, and whatever it is you're doing, and you're still taking time out for NNDYM, and I'm so grateful for that, and so thank you so much. Apart from that, obviously my main crew, where's Nirmal? Nirmal, come up here. Come up here. Come on. Get up here. I know we don't have Darsh today, but these are the two boys who always help me out and always criticize me on everything I'm doing. I'm just kidding. So understand that these guys are the ones who've been with me since, I would say, day one, since we started changing NNDYM. And they've always been there every step of the way, good or bad. So thank you, man. I appreciate it so much. And it's like they've always been there. It's a two-way thing, you know. Like I said, where I'm wrong, they're gonna push me, and they're gonna tell me, you could do better here. You could do this. You could do that. You could implement those ideas. If I'll shoot some ideas at them, they'll be like, okay, maybe you could improve here. Maybe you could not improve here. And I can tell them where they're wrong. So understand this, it's a team. I'm not a boss sitting here. Boss is AJ, right? So a leader's true job is to lead their team. And a leader's not someone who walks up in the front. He makes sure that the whole team walks, so he walks in the back. So thank you guys. Apart from that, apart from the whole organizing team, there's a lot more to it. Obviously the volunteers, you guys helped. Thank you. The volunteers, you guys, there's a few from Canada as well, and they came down, and they do come down every year just to help out with the food, with the arrangements, making sure that you guys are okay and your camp experience is the best it could be. So thank you. Thank you so much to all the men and women, both volunteers. I'd like to thank all the Munders in the United States. You guys helped out, you guys contributed in terms of finances, in terms of you know, any kind of help you could, especially S&J. You guys helped out with the food and all the different small or big arrangements, and whatever we needed, S&J was always there, especially Allentown was there for the first day for the food. So thank you, S&J and Allentown as well. And we have another few Munders. We have all the other remaining Munders from the East Coast, just Parsippany, Colonia, we got Baltimore, and we have Weehawken as well. So you guys did a great job organizing and helping out where we needed, so thank you once again. Obviously, thank you to the management here at the hotel. You guys did a terrific job handling crazy people like us. We're not so good when it comes to, I know there's been so much, we have like 4 broken legs, and you don't want to, you didn't have to say that, sorry. But yeah, we fixed them, okay, we fixed them. Okay, we fixed that, right? There's no broken legs. That was the other camp, I forgot about it. So, thank you to the hotel staff, especially the owner, Mr. Flores, who helped us, and he was there, and he took care of all the accommodations and made sure that we have our own space while we're doing this, so thank you. And thank you to the education team. This is one of the biggest parts of the camp, education, because this is what you guys will take back from the camp when you go back. Like I say always, that it's 365 days of the year, 358 days you spend at home, and the rest of 1 week you spend at the camp. So what are you doing those 358 days is from what you learn from the camp and what you could apply. So it's ever evolving, and everyone from the education team, guys and girls, whoever helped out, a huge thank you. And we'd love also, while we're at the education, we'd love you guys if you could put feedback on how'd you like the education, okay? And positive, negative, understand this is for you guys. This is about what you want to learn. And every year's education we base upon what we get the feedbacks from and what we think suits best for you for that year and the feedback we get. So let us know what you'd like to learn, and next year's curriculum will base off that. And so also big shout out to the UK guys for coming over here. Robert and crew. from different parts of the UK. We have Jayesh, we have Bhavin, we have Swetan, we have Anish, we have Tilak, and a lot more people. So, and guys and girls both for coming out. They're going around temples in the US doing music shows and bhagavatas and stuff, and I'm sure you guys loved it, right? First 2 days, right? You guys loved the music? So, huge shout out to them. They're always helpful, and it's been a part of our legacy in the sense that the first camp we ever did was in the UK. So ever since that, they have continued, the people from the UK, to come over and help us out in whatever we need. Especially huge shout out to Bhavin, who was also on board with us when it came to education. He was helping us out and correcting these young people were needed when it came to education, and helping us out. And a lot of other people from the UK, they're helping out. So thank you. And thank you to all the group leaders. We already got that. And thank you for the leaders who stepped up this week. We have a lot of new leaders in the sense that new leaders, we have the boss, the new recruit. We have Shiv here, who's the new MC for the camp. So thank you for MCing, Shiv, throughout the whole camp. And obviously, last but not the least, I'd like to thank the organization team who helped organize the whole camp, which consists of we're just here for 1 week, but they've been traveling back and forth. And this is a team, particular team, we set up every year to make sure that they come to the campsites we select. And they come 6 months before the camp or 8 months before the camp. And they continue to do so just to make sure all the arrangements are up to par, and just make sure that everything is on point when it comes to all the arrangements and where we should set up all the activities and all the things we need to do. So thank you for the organizing committee team. What else do we got? I think that's it. I have a big announcement to make this year. You guys know NNDYM works at a global level now. We have camps in Australia. We have camps in, hopefully, coming up in the future in other countries, and also within the US. So we have an executive board, consists of a few people, just like the national board for the ISSO, you guys might be aware of. Now, I'm getting a little technical here, but I think it's something important for you guys to know how the organization works. And one thing I love is transparency when it comes to organization. So I want you guys to know the ins and outs of how everything works. So we have an executive board up on the top, which consists of 3 people for now. The big announcement I'm making today is we're going to add in more people in that based off their performance and their capacity as leaders. And then we break it down to the leaders group, where the organization team comes in, where the education team comes in, where the marketing team comes in. So it's delegated, the responsibilities are delegated, and we have a great crew around us who help us out every year, not just in camp, but the weekly education, the small or big events we plan throughout the month or so. For that, I have 2 new recruits for the NNDYM executive. Now, they might have guessed it, they might have not have guessed it, but we have Kishan. Come up here, please. Understand this is a hard-working guy. He's been around for many years now, helping us out. Kishan, stand up. Face them. Did a great job. So welcome me on board, and then NNDYM executive, and a lot of fights with Nirmal.
Fighting!
Fighting, yep, we love it. But it's all love. It's all love at the end of the day. Another person we wanted to add is Shiv. Come up here. Come up here. Alright, so as you guys see, our crew is expanding. These are 2 new recruits we have. And they have rightfully earned the spot by working hard, not just for the camp, but throughout the whole process. So thank you guys for helping out, and we'll get moving. We're here just to serve these people here and make their experiences, make their life experiences better as individuals, as their spiritual experiences, and become better religiously and become better as satsangis. So thank you guys. So as camp comes to an end, I know I personally sat down with all the chapters, and I had a brief insight on what they thought their camp experience was, so that gave us a good idea. And overall, I'd say that this has been one of the best camp experiences people have had so far in terms of arrangements and in terms of everything. So what we want from this point on is we need to apply what we have learned throughout this whole week, throughout this whole 7 or 8 days, and understanding that you always have God with you, and understanding that life always happens for you, not to you. The events that happen are anchors that could lead you to better things. It's not something that life knocks you down, and people have this tendency, and I say this always, it's like there's a blame tendency, and it comes down to human psychology that people have a tendency to blame events or people, and the easiest thing to blame is someone who's not present. The someone who's never present is God. We always blame Bhagwan. Bhagwan did this to me. Bhagwan, because of Bhagwan I failed. Because of Bhagwan I couldn't make it. Or God wasn't with me. And that's not true. That's never true. God is always with you. He's in you. He's in your hearts. I mean, I always say this, and it's such a close experience to me that, and raise your hands if you guys have ever been to Ahmedabad Kalapur Mandir. A lot of you guys, right?
Who's hungry?
You're hungry? All right, I'll cut this short. I'm sorry. 5 minutes. I won't take long. All right. Okay, understand this. Just 5 minutes. I know you guys are hungry, and I know you guys are looking forward to Carnival. But this is important for you guys to know. Yeah, you can put your hand down. Yeah. So you guys have been to Kalapur, you know how it feels to do darshan Narandev. And I could do this on a weekly basis. Like, you know that Murti is there. You know that Murti is present over there. Like, people who spend more than a couple of weeks in Ahmedabad, they know that, and obviously the elder folks sitting in the back, you guys can tell, right? I mean, whenever you look at Narendev's Murti, the expressions change. Sometimes it looks like he's smiling, sometimes it looks like he's pissed off. So what it tells us is that Bhagwan's right there. Bhagwan's established those murtis. He took those murtis with his own hands and he put it there. And he sat down on there, the steps there, and he said one thing, that there's no difference. There's no difference between me and this Murti right there. And understanding that we're a part of his crew. We're his children. Doesn't that make you feel proud? I mean, even as I'm speaking right now, I'm getting goosebumps right now as I speak. I mean, that's so close to me, and I'm privileged enough to be able to even touch that murti. And if someone would ask me what's my biggest asset, that's my biggest asset right there. I love it. It's just, I don't know the words to describe the feeling. Like I think the Geysers now was just about less than a couple of weeks ago before I came over here. A couple of days ago, I'd say. And that moment of touching the murti, it's electrifying. I'm not going to lie to you guys, or it's not over-exaggerating, but it is electrifying. You know God is there. That's the closest thing you can experience to spirituality. I mean, it's undescribable. It's just something I could go on and on talking about it. But be proud. Be proud of who you are. Drop whatever it is, your egos, your bad habits, or the hatred you have towards each other. Drop it here. It does good to no one. You got to recognize we're a part of this big, not just a big community, I'd say, but we're a part of such a big movement, I'd say. We're here to change the world. We're here to make difference in people's lives and in our lives too. Just drop it. Just drop all the ego, drop all the hatred. Love each other, guys. We don't know when tomorrow's promised. I'll tell you a close example. My grandfather from my mom's side, my nana, 2 hours before I was going to fly, he passed away. And I got the news right almost when I was ready to leave for the airport. And it was heart-crushing because until the day before, he was perfectly okay. And he was just normal, he was walking around, he was feeling fine. And then the next day, you know he's gone. And then you realize you don't have a lot of time left. And that's to any of us. And I've seen so many, that's just one of the examples. It was heartbreaking for me. It was heartbreaking for me to even travel on the plane, knowing that my family's back there, and I left them behind. Not because I choose to, but because I have to. And it's heartbreaking. Only you can imagine how hard that is. Regardless, I traveled and came to a realization that we don't have a lot of time as individuals. So while we're at it, while we're here, stop wasting your time doing, that's the whole point of this camp. Stop wasting the time doing things you do not love, and start doing the things you love. Start getting closer to Bhagwan. We're not saying do this, do that, but just get closer to Bhagwan. I'm not here to tell you what to believe in. I'm here to tell you to believe in more of what you believe in. Because understand, life is not fair and it's going to come at you at different times. The only thing that can save you from the craziness of this world, and what I've seen, and I've seen in my life, I've seen in so many people who are elder to me in their lives, is the grace of God, is having Bhagwan in your lives, which is going to save you. Nothing else matters at the end of the day. The only person who's going to stand for you is going to be God, no one else. That's the only, I couldn't even say person, I'm sorry, but God is going to be the only one who's going to be on your side at the end of the day. Someone who you could count on. So have God in your life. The only way to do that is by start making the right choices. One right choice is going to lead to another right choice. One right choice of going out with better friends is going to lead you to going to Mother. Are you following me? If you hang out with the wrong crew, they're going to lead you somewhere else. If you hang out with the right crew, they might lead you to a better path. So start applying what you've learned throughout this week. And thank you guys once again for coming out. Give yourselves a huge round of applause. I'd like to thank my team once again, all the leaders here, guys and girls, and all of the people I mentioned earlier. I'd like to thank all of you guys once again. Thank you so much for helping out, and yeah, we'll hope to see you guys next year. With that, cheers.